This episode of the Local Hustlers podcast is brought to you by Audible. If you're listening to this podcast right now, then I'm going to assume that you would also enjoy listening to audiobooks. Whether you're interested in business, history, comedy, science fiction, or romance, Audible has thousands of titles for you to choose from. We want you to try out Audible for free, so if you head to our link, you'll get a 30-day free trial and a free book. So go to audibletrial.com/localhustlerspodcast to redeem your trial today. Again, that's Audible, AUDIBLE, trial.com/localhustlerspodcast.
You're listening to the Local Hustlers Podcast, East Valley Locals. Get connected with small businesses near you and dive deep into their stories, mindset, and motives. Entrepreneurs everywhere. Get ready to be inspired by business owners, entrepreneurs, and hustlers that you can relate to and learn from. And now, your hosts, Dallin Huso and Ridge Waldberg.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Local Hustlers podcast. This week, we're super excited to be here with Kelly Bigelow of Diamond Arrow Digital Marketing. How's it going, Kelly?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here and taking time out of your busy day to come and chat with us today. Before we dive into the business, take a couple of minutes and tell us a bit about yourself.
So I actually am originally from Kansas, so I am a Midwest country girl. Not really, but I guess you could say that. But yeah, so I grew up most of my life in Kansas. I was actually born in California. I cursed my parents for ever taking me from California.
From California to
Yes.
That was rough.
Yeah, I'm like,
That
man,
is
I could have
rough.
been like a surfer or, like something else, but instead I grew up with cows. So yeah. I moved out here to the Valley twice. I came, back in my early 20s. I loved it, but I missed my friends and my family, so I got homesick and I moved back. And then around 2014, I moved back out to the Valley, and I've been out here ever since, and I love it, and I love what we do, and I've got brothers, sisters. I'm the second oldest of 4 of us, so yeah. Let's see, I've done a lot, just random, jobs before I really kind of decided to go to college, so I waited a little later, and I went for business management, which is funny because I hear a lot of people that talk about they went to school originally for business, and then they decided to stop doing business and actually kind of started their own adventure, which is kind of where I was at.
Yeah.
I ran businesses, managed businesses, mainly in the fitness industry. So I actually spent about 15 years in the fitness industry. Helping people kind of change their lives through fitness, and it involved, marketing and, just kind of getting your name out there. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Cool. So with fitness, were you actually like a trainer and helping people, or were you more on the business back end side helping grow the business?
Yeah, so funny. I was started on the front end, so I was, I did pretty much everything in the gym, service based. I did sales, I did management, so I managed the gyms, co-managed, and then I had kind of gained some weight after high school, and you kind of get into college, and you start finding out eating late at night and just having a really poor lifestyle, right? And so so I had gained some weight, and while I was managing the gym, I worked out with the trainer, and lost probably around like 50 pounds. And so that kind of inspired me. So after, running the gyms, I decided, hey, I think I want to kind of make a shift. And I got into actually personal training and taking people from day one all the way to the I wouldn't say end of their journey. It's usually, the end of the journey with me, but continuing the journey on their own and changing their lives. So. But yeah, so I did management on the personal training side. That's where I actually ended my career, was at a big box gym here in the Valley that really just kind of overworked you and underpaid, which is probably pretty common with most corporate companies. And I just got super burnt out and left there and kind of took a little sabbatical for a while and was like, oh, what do I want to do with my life? Where do I want to go? And that's where it kind of led me into, where I'm sitting today. So.
And at that point, did you have any sort of ideas or passions or things you were kind of leaning towards?
Actually, what I wanted to do was start my own gym. Wanted to, do my own fitness thing and, run it the way that we actually cared about members, and it wasn't just about their money. And so that was kind of my intention and what I was, kind of wanting to do and where I wanted to go. And kind of funny, I also did have a passion for websites. So I knew that if I was going to start my own gym, I had, I knew about marketing, but I didn't really know about online. Like, I knew a little, but I didn't know exactly how it worked. And so, I was like, well, I need a website. I'm going to go get a job at GoDaddy, and then I'll just build my own website, right? So I thought, why go to college to learn to do website stuff when I can go get a job and get paid?
You get paid to do it.
Learn,
instead.
yeah. So I found myself at GoDaddy. I liked it. It was kind of rewarding, not really, but I learned enough that I didn't want to stay at GoDaddy and work there forever. So I decided, what am I going to do now? So I left GoDaddy and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to maybe go back into the fitness side of it, do a little personal training while I'm trying to start, kind of a side hustle of just training people maybe in their homes and working my way up. And my roommate, her brother, one day, I don't know what I said. I was like, I hated the gym that I was working at. It was awful and it was terrible. And again, they didn't care about the members. They just cared about sales and numbers. And again, pushing that. And so one day I was sitting there and I was like, man, like, I need a job. Do you know where I can get a job? And he was like, well, I work at Yelp. Do you do sales? And I was like, well, yeah, pretty much. I've been in sales on and off my whole life. And so he's like, well, I can try to hook you up with a job. And he did. And so I went to Yelp and learned even more about marketing and how the internet works and mobile search and all sorts of things. And my thought process was, oh, this will be great for when I start a gym. And so when I got there, it was like I was always looking up like fitness companies and personal trainers and like looking at their Yelp pages and kind of looking at their results. And I was like, okay, studying it. And then I don't know, it kind of clicked, and they started kind of teaching us more and more and more. And I really felt while I was there, like I got a degree in marketing. A lot of my managers and people that work there had, that's what they went to school for. So they taught, not only Yelp, but, just in general, like how search works. And I don't know, I got really good. I moved to the kind of top of the ladder there in terms of like sales. I became like the #1 sales rep in our office in Phoenix multiple times, which was kind of cool. And I just really found a passion for it. And I think, after talking to a lot of the business owners while at GoDaddy and then also at Yelp, they always had the same common thing is, I have a website, but nobody ever finds me, or, I've invested in marketing and I never got a return from it. And that's where I just was like, okay, I really like doing this. And so I decided to leave Yelp because their kind of sales process started to change a little bit. In terms of, it used to be build a relationship, teach them about Yelp, teach them about search, educate them, and then get them to sign up for ads. And then it turned from that to, we don't really care about the relationship, call them on the phone, get them on the computer, sign them up for ads, So I decided that wasn't really kind of my approach and my style. So I left Yelp, and that's where I'm at today.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when you left Yelp, did you have intentions to start the gym at that time, or how did the gym idea shift into Diamond Arrow digital marketing?
Yeah, that's a funny story. So, Yelp actually provides their employees with a fully stocked kitchen of whatever you want. Like pretty much you name it, they've got it. And so, being tied to a desk and having unlimited, copious amounts of Red Bull and coffee and just sugary treats and drinks and all this stuff, I gained a lot of weight. So, going from being really active to just, being tied to a desk all day. Yeah. So I gained some weight. And when I left, I was just like, oh my gosh, there's no way. Like I can't even keep myself in check. How am I going to train people? And it's funny, when I left, I actually, I was going to go into real estate school. So I signed up and I was like, okay, I paid all the money. I'm like, I'm going to go be a real estate agent. My thought process was, well, I know how to market myself. I know how to get my name out there. I know how to get leads. So that's what I'm going to do. And so I was going to school for it. And again, my roommate was like, wow, you're really good at the marketing thing. You know how it works. You're passionate about it. You obviously know sales, all that stuff. Like, why aren't you starting a marketing company? Why aren't you helping business owners? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And I guess at the time I didn't really have the confidence because I knew how to do it, but I hadn't actually done it. Yeah. And so it was kind of like, to take that leap and then to say, oh, okay, well, pay me money and I'm going to give you results. Uh-huh. At first I was just like, I don't know. And then, I started doing websites. So I started just kind of, building websites on the side. And from there, I started doing a little bit of marketing behind the scenes for the companies I did the websites for. And I did start to see results pretty quick. And I think that kind of built some confidence for myself. And now, 4 years later, with lots of clients, we're able to, really kind of figure that out and have taken a lot of people to the top and made some money and grew their businesses and created some jobs here in the Valley. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
When you first got started with Diamond Arrow, did you feel confident with the amount of knowledge and education you had in terms of digital marketing, or were you still at a point where you needed to continue to keep educating yourself and learn a lot more in terms of taking on clients?
That's funny that you say that. So, there's two folds to it. So I was really good at Yelp, right? Mm-hmm. Like being able to manage their Yelp pages, their website, their online presence in general. But as I kind of grew, I was very confident in that because Yelp definitely taught us how to use the platform. When we would sign people up for ads, the goal was always for the customer to be successful. So they would teach us how to set up their page, things that they could do that would help them stand out. And then through time, they would just tell us more and do this, do that. Mm-hmm. Again, to help their pages rank so that they continue to keep paying for ads. And so when I started, I knew that I was good at that, but I also knew that there were other aspects of it. The SEO, the local SEO, Google My Business, tons of business owners, they're just really focused on, I need to rank on Google. I need to rank on Google. And it's important, but, I kind of realized that putting Yelp, before definitely kind of helps tie back to it. It gave the clients results. And so as we kind of, grew, we grew into these other things and learned these other things. I had confidence. I knew that I would be successful and I knew that I could help people. I just didn't know how long it would take me to be able to help them. And that was kind of I would say the thing that I probably lacked the most confidence in when starting.
And what did you do to, kind of build that confidence, educate yourself, and figure out, how long it's going to take you to help these businesses grow?
Yeah. So, I think it's, the biggest thing is just, again, research, reading, blogs, podcasts, different Facebook groups with, other like-minded people, SEO companies and things like that. So I think it's, again, just, educating, learning, growing, and finding different resources to kind of help. So
cool. Looking at your resume, it's kind of the perfect storm in terms of starting a digital marketing company, because you're on the ground working, with small businesses. Then you go to GoDaddy, you learn the importance of, having a good website, SEO. You're at Yelp, learning the importance of paid advertising and reviews. It's like the perfect storm that all came together.
Yeah.
Were there any like insider secrets or things you learned working for those companies that a regular digital marketing company wouldn't really know unless they really had to dig in and research and figure out?
Yeah, that's funny. So I mean, I'm gonna give away kind of one of my secrets that I always tell people is, a lot of digital marketing agencies, they don't really use Yelp and they don't really leverage it. But at the end of the day, Yelp is the largest and the number one local business directory out there. Most people don't know, and even some digital marketing agencies don't know, that anyone who has an iPhone that uses Apple Maps is actually powered by Yelp.
Yeah.
So if your business isn't listed on Yelp, your business is not going to be listed on the map on Yelp. Mm-hmm. So if somebody goes to their phone, they do a mobile search, which we know about 80% of searches. It's kind of funny. Searches used to be 80 to 90% of the searches that were done by local people looking for businesses was through the mobile. During COVID, we saw a huge shift, which is kind of crazy, and where, it was mobile. Well, now people aren't out and about searching as much. They are searching from home before they explore out. Mm-hmm. We saw actually the desktop rise. So more people were searching from their desktop than they were from the mobile phone. So, but again, especially like, say for a restaurant, if you're not engaging in Yelp, you're not using Yelp, I mean, over 50% of the market share is owned by Apple. So most people are Apple users. I'm going to assume Apple user, right, Apple user, yeah. Apple. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, most of the people out there are using that. So they are using Apple Maps.
Yeah.
And if you're not leveraging that, you're missing out on, a really big crowd of people that could be finding you. So.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because when you're on Maps, it has reviews for any place you see, and those are all through Yelp. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, like when I look up a business or looking up like places to go to dinner, most of the time I'll go to Maps and search it instead of just going straight to Safari, just because it's really simple to just see that list, kind of see where they are location wise. Yeah. And that's all powered by Yelp, so That's really interesting.
Yep. Steve Jobs actually, he did a presentation for Apple when the apps and things were really starting to grow. And, even he came out and he said, people aren't searching the same way that they used to. They're using applications now. So they're actually typically going to go to an app. They don't pull up Safari. They don't pull up, the internet browsers typically as much anymore, because of all these applications now that make it easier for you searching on a phone, because again, Google, when you go to Google on your phone, not everybody is, optimized for the mobile phone.
Right.
So, it's a little different. The website might look different, but again, if they go to these third-party sites, that's where they're going to find someone and be able to get the info that they need. So, yeah.
Cool. Why would you say reviews are so important for a small business?
Oh gosh, why are they not? I think in this day and age, I tell business owners, gone are the days of just getting in your car, and driving around and trying to find a locksmith, right? Or find a restaurant to go to. That's what we used to do. We used to, let's go find somewhere to eat. So we get in the car and we just drive around until we find somewhere. We used to pull up to a place and we'd drive by and we'd be like, hey, look at that place. Let's go. You just walk in sight unseen. Now you don't do that, right? You pull up and you're like, ooh, I'm going to get online. Let's pull them up online. Yeah. Let's look at them. What does the restaurant look like? Is it safe? I mean, I guess you only say safe now because it's COVID, but is it in a safe area?
Yeah.
So consumers now, they're doing more research. They're not just hopping in the car and going. And so making sure that you have, an online presence is super important. And not even having that online presence, but having your customers leave feedback, because we want to see what other people are saying, right? We want to make sure that you have good customer service, that you have a good product and things like that. And I mean, we've taken businesses and we've ranked them to the number 1 spot on Yelp. They sit at number 1 and they get 0 leads because they have no reviews. They get 1 review, completely different story. So I always tell people it takes 1 review. The more that you have, obviously, the better, but you need customer experience because people aren't going to choose you if they don't know that someone else has used you before, because the whole trust, right? Like, it's just, someone has to be able to trust you. And I think reading other people's reviews give people that feeling of like, oh, okay, safety. I feel a little bit better knowing that other people have experienced and used this business.
Yeah, for sure. And some people say that like customer referrals are dead, but reviews are kind of the way that you see those customer referrals now, and you see other people's experiences, and it's how you know if you want to go somewhere or not.
Yep, absolutely.
And then, so we talked about Yelp a bit. With GoDaddy, is there anything you learned in terms of, website development, whether it be the aesthetics or the SEO of a website that really clicks and really helps a website?
Yeah. I think with GoDaddy, what I really learned, I think from there is kind of a little more of like the optimization process of the website, just making sure that you have a fast website, the SEO that goes into it, in terms of like your domain, having, a lot of people want to name their domain name, their business name, but another insider tip here, it's actually better to name your domain name with your keywords and like a geo target. So basically like my business is Diamond Arrow Digital Marketing. It's pretty long, to give somebody. So we actually just went with Digital Marketing Gilbert AZ. So again, we're in Gilbert, we want to rank in Gilbert, and we're a digital marketing agency. So it does help match those search terms and kind of gives you a little more, kind of boost with, Google and gaining their trust. So that's, I think, one thing that I learned there. And then, again, website speed, having the right hosting plan and things like that. The SEO, I think I've kind of more developed after GoDaddy, but GoDaddy taught a lot more on the aesthetics as well, and having a website that converts and has all the right information on it that a consumer needs. So
love it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Diamond Arrow. Walk us through the process of getting a business started. Picking the name, getting everything ready, deciding what services you're going to offer. What was that like?
Yeah, scary. No. It's funny because it's morphed, to me, and as we've kind of grown, we started out just, I think it was more, I was kind of just more advertising on, hey, we can help you grow your online presence. Let us manage your online presence for you. I guess it was never really like, hey, I'm going to get you ranking. That was never our sales pitch. It wasn't like, hey, we're going to get you to rank online. It was more like, hey, you're lost right now because you have no information. You have nothing online. So it was like, hey, let's build you that foundation. And then kind of from there, again, learning as we've grown, we learned that there's other things that kind of go into that. So our services have definitely morphed. Now, on top of that, dealing with clients and having clients, when they would come to us, they would have their hand here, this person would do that, this person would do that, this person would do that. And it would always just get so confusing that so many people were overlapping and paying for services. So they were paying from services from multiple companies because they didn't really know what they were buying or what they were purchasing. So we've kind of, morphed from just that to now we're full service. We do it all for our clients. We do video production, we'll do email marketing, the digital, the SEO, web design, graphic design now. So we're doing graphic design because we know that that's super important. And it's hard. It's hard to, find someone that you can trust as a business owner.
For sure.
So we've kind of done the interview process and we've brought people on and just continue to grow. So
yeah.
Do you spend more time cleaning your pool than you spend swimming in it? Then call Flamingo Pools today. Flamingo Pools is your go-to swimming pool maintenance and repair company in the East Valley. Whether it's weekly maintenance, repairs, green to cleans, or one-time cleanings, Flamingo Pools will take care of you. Honest, reliable, and innovative. Just a few of the many good things Flamingo Pools customers have to say about them. Ask them about their mineral treatment, which will keep your chemical levels down, allowing you to have a healthier bathing experience. At Flamingo Pools, they know that your pool was made to be enjoyed, so let them handle the rest. Check them out at azflamingopools.com or give them a call at 480-422-6013. Mention this podcast and you'll get your first month of maintenance completely free. That's azflamingopools.com and 480-422-6013.
What do you do to help customers be confident in you and your services? Because there's so many digital marketing agencies. It's so simple if anyone wanted to start one, and you could lose a lot of money paying a digital marketing agency that doesn't convert for you. So how do you get customers to be confident to not only pay for the ads, but to pay you for your services and allow you to grow their business essentially?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny that you say that. It's 100% true in terms of businesses can spend a lot of money of advertising dollars with no return.
Yeah.
I've had so many people that have come to us in that same situation. I think for me, the reason why I started Diamond Arrow, again, is because there were so many companies out there that invested in marketing, but invested into the wrong company. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's always been about honesty and integrity. All the clients that started with me when they started, I was always upfront and honest with them. If there was something that I didn't know and I wasn't confident in the answer, I would tell them. And I still today, if someone asks me something and I'm not super confident about it, but I know someone on my team might be, more educated about it, I'll be upfront with them and I'll go to them. A lot of feedback that I'd say that I get in terms of trust is I don't know, they just say that they could feel, the passion that I have for mm-hmm. what we do and how we can help them. And a lot of times when a client comes to us, what I like to do is I actually like to research their company. So I don't go into a sales spiel. I don't tell you why our marketing company is the best. I don't tell you any of that. But what I do tell you is what we can do and what we've done for other customers. Mm-hmm. And then I'll research the business. And I like to do my homework and I like to learn about them and actually come up with a strategy that says, this is where you're at and this is, where you could be, where you could get to. And then I usually, will make a little video for them that I send to them that has, again, it's not a sales video. It's more of like an educational video. And I always say, like, even if you don't choose us as a digital marketing company, because I'm sure you're probably going to interview more than one. Yeah. Here's some other questions that you should be asking that maybe they didn't ask. And, just let them know that we care and, we're gonna go to bat for them and have their back. And, I always say I can never guarantee results for you. Right. But what I can guarantee is that we're going to do everything in our power to help you grow your business. Yeah. So maybe that's what people trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, everything you said right there shows that you have the customer's best interests in mind and you care, more about the customer and them seeing success than just getting money and getting clients. So that's really cool. And I'm sure that you see that in return in terms of getting clients to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, one of the things that, I do tell a lot of people in the process is the clients who started with me when I very first started are still clients today. And they will be, I don't see them going anywhere else. Yeah. Because they've grown their businesses and, they know that what we do works. And I think just having that support team, my slogan has always been, we are your marketing department. Like we're working for you, so when you come to us, we're not just, you don't hire us for a service. It's kind of like, and I always say, like, I should charge more for my time, because it's like they come to us and it's not just, oh, okay, well, you're going to buy this program that's it. It's, we're strategizing, we're telling them what they should be doing. We're giving them feedback. They come to us, hey, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? There's been times, even during COVID, I had a client who hadn't been with us for that long, had just started. They were in an industry that got hit hard. They got shut down. So they were in the beauty industry. Right. And they sold products in their store. We took their entire store. It was a wig shop. They sold wigs and extensions. And we took the entire store and we moved it online. We put every product that they offered in their store online. And it kind of had got to the point where I knew that for them, they were really struggling. And so I actually had made the suggestion to them that the money that they're allocating to us to help organically grow them, I didn't think was going to be their best move for their budget, because that's all that they had. Yeah. So I had actually suggested taking the money that they were paying us on a monthly basis and put that into more paid advertising, because I knew that was going to help generate them business faster. Yeah. And in order for them to succeed and stay in business, which they did make it through COVID, they're still in business. They're starting to kind of grow more. I still talk to them, and, she still reaches out from time to time for help with her website. But, I think it's things like that, you have to do, for your clients, and consult and I don't know, just go above and beyond. So.
For sure. No, yeah, it's more, so what you're saying, it's more than just like, I'll pay you, you do this service. It's an extension, it's a branch of their company. You're brainstorming, you're coming up with ideas for them as well, and helping them, and you always have their best interest in mind and coming up with ideas to help grow the business. So that's really cool. Yeah. You brought up a good point with COVID. A lot of businesses struggled, and just in general, a lot of small business are tight on cash, and don't have, all the money in the world to throw into advertising. When would you say is a good time for a business to kind of jump in and start testing out advertising, and how much of a budget should they, expect to start putting in to start seeing some results?
Yeah, I mean, I always say that it's never a bad time to start. Okay. If you can start as your business is starting, that's always the best, because again, building that foundation takes time. When we create things and put things out there, it can take Google 6 to 8 weeks sometimes to index information that you put online before it really starts reading and picking it up. So the sooner that you can start your marketing, when your business opens and you're ready to go, you've already got a solid foundation built. So yeah, I mean, 2 months, 3 months before your business is going to open, you should be thinking about investing in marketing. As a small business, I would say anywhere, I would expect to get good marketing, anywhere from, $300 a month to $500 to $600 a month. I think would be kind of a good place to fall. I usually say anything usually below 300, you're probably just getting one small piece of what you actually really need. A lot of times business owners, I find, they see that smaller price tag and they do make a commitment to that smaller price tag, but it's just not what they need. Right. So here they're investing the little bit of money that they have, because a lot of business owners, I find, don't put money towards marketing in the beginning when they should. Again, that learning curve, but they just don't get the results that they need to see on it. So I would say any time is a good time. It's never too late, unless you're obviously on the brink of closing your business down, then maybe it might be a little too late, but it just, start anytime.
Yeah. And I know these advertising platforms are always changing, always learning. When it comes to patience, how long should customers wait to expect to see results if they're having you do their ads for them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, what I kind of tell a lot of people, for us, we do our pricing on price point tiers. So we have a low package, a middle package, and a higher package. I kind of explain it as, how fast do you want to get from point A to point B? if you want to get there really fast, then you probably need to be investing, closer to 1,000 and above in your marketing. If you're not in a rush to get there, you can go on a mid-level. But usually I'd say 3 to 6 months, some 6 to 9. But I've had clients who have had results within 2 weeks. I've had them within a month. I have had some that's taken closer to 9 months.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it just depends on the industry that you're in, and how many people are searching for what you do. So, if it's something that maybe not as many people are searching for, you could see a longer time frame. But I would say if you're hiring another marketing company or you're working with another marketing company currently, I would say after 6 months, if you're not really seeing any results, you should probably start maybe looking for another marketing company.
Gotcha. So that's a good, middle ground between, I got to be patient, I got to wait. But, at this point, if I'm still not seeing something, maybe something's wrong.
Yeah. At 3 months, you should start to see something. It may not return into actual business just yet, but in terms of like ranking, driving more traffic, seeing actually more people on your profiles and finding you, you should start to see some of that after 3. If you're not seeing any of that at all, then I would say probably wouldn't wait that 6-month period. I would probably start interviewing new marketing companies before. So.
And speaking of different industries, are there certain industries that you maybe specialize with? Because I know a lot of marketing agencies will specialize with, dentists or service industries or products or whatever it may be. Is there anything that you kind of really have felt like you've really thrived with? Or is it just, whatever business it is, you can make it work?
Well, I mean, yes and no to that question. I mean, yes, we have had, service-based. We do have probably more service-based companies, but we have companies in all different types of industries. And again, that's where I've kind of seen different industries take a little bit longer. But yeah, we can work with most industries that come to us. I think, like you said, like if there's a will, there's a way, and we will try to find that. I thought about doing more, we call it niche, niching out, but I just couldn't turn people away. I couldn't say, sorry, I can't help you, go somewhere else. Yeah. It was more like, oh gosh, I want to help you, my heart. But, I mean, we'll help you, whatever it is. I mean, I do have, a member on my team who we do specialize. He specializes more. It's not my strong point. I tell people, in online businesses as well. So if you have an online business, we can help with marketing that and doing that. But for the most part, if you're a local business and you're looking for local customers who want to find you, we can help you with it. And it doesn't have to be just in Arizona. We've got clients actually all over the U.S., New York, Colorado, California, Texas. So we're not, it doesn't have to be just here. We can, make you rank in any city that you're in.
Cool. So. Well, I'm interested to hear what you do to find your clients, because all you're doing is helping customers find clients. So then what are the practices that you've used to find your own clients?
Yeah. Same. I always tell people this is kind of funny. The same thing that we do for our clients. You know what I mean? Like, I went to a networking thing one time with a client of mine. He invited me, and I'm like, I don't have time to go to the networking, but I'm like, okay, he invited me. And so I was nice. And I'm like, okay, I'll go. He wanted to show me off because we really helped him grow his business. And I had a lady who came up to me and she was like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, we do digital marketing, web design. And she's like, oh, do you come to a lot of networking things? And I was like, no, actually, I really don't. And she's like, she just kind of looked at me with this look on her face of confusion. And she's like, well, how do you get business? And I was like, well, online. Like customers find us online because that's what we do. We do digital marketing. So, I think if you do a search in Gilbert for a digital marketing agency, you should probably find us. Yeah. I had a guy actually right before I came in here who's over in Mesa. He lives on Queen Creek, and he was able to find us online. So our customers find us the same way that they find our customers. So, that's awesome. And referrals. We get a lot of referrals from our clients who love us, and they give us love back. So, but for the most part, outside of that, they just find us on Yelp or Google.
Cool. No, yeah, that shows that that business, or that you guys know what you're doing. If you're getting clients, then you obviously know how to get clients for other people. Then
I know, right? It's kind of funny that you say that, being in the marketing industry, but I think it kind of leads back to what I said before. And if you're going to hire a digital marketing company or an SEO company, do a search for them. Pull them up, do a search in. I always say you can get really broad in terms of do a search in the city that they're located in. If they don't come up there, you can even drill down further, find their zip code, do a search with the keyword digital marketing in that zip code that their business is located in. And if they don't show up in that search, then I probably wouldn't be hiring that company to market you.
Yeah.
It's probably a reason why they don't.
No, that's a good
show
idea. Like if they claim that they're gonna rank you at the top or get you a ton of Facebook likes or Instagram follows, you should probably see if they have that themselves, because if they can't help themselves, it might not be able to be the best for you.
Exactly.
Talk to us a bit about COVID and what kind of effect that had on your business, whether positive or negative.
Oh man, it's kind of funny and crazy both at the same time. When COVID started, I think everybody was freaking out.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was happening and was going to happen. And, I had quite a few clients who called kind of freaking out in terms of, again, they didn't know what was going to happen. And, I think with a lot of them, some of them that would say, I got to stop my marketing. I got to stop it. And I'm like, wait. Honestly, that's probably the last thing that you want to do. Right now is the most important time for you to get in front of people. You can't stop marketing, because if you start marketing now, you're basically putting a nail in the coffin.
You're shutting the doors.
You're shutting the doors, and you can't do that. Your thought should be opposite. I need to spend more money. So for us, we actually grew in COVID. I don't know if it's because a lot of businesses got the PPP loans and they were able to pay their employees with the PPP loans, which freed up the money that they would normally be using for payroll, and actually were like, I need to invest in marketing. So there was actually a lot of companies who took that route of saying, okay, I need to be investing. This is probably obviously the best time.
Yeah.
So we saw growth, and our clients actually saw tremendous. Some industries, it was honestly kind of crazy to see that you could see right around April, from April to May to June, July, they saw better rankings and traffic on their profiles than they did even the prior year.
Wow.
So it was kind of crazy. I think the one thing that we saw was the shift from mobile searching to the desktop. So I think during COVID, people that were stuck at home, I think it gave them the opportunity to kind of focus on things that they probably didn't focus on before.
Yeah.
Just, in their everyday life, not even, marketing companies, but, I'm going to do work on my house. I'm going to, I need to have the pest guy come out, or, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. And so I think it just kind of gave them more time to, do things that typically when you work a full-time job, have a family, commute throughout the valley, you just don't really have the time to do some of the things that you want. And I think that COVID gave a lot of people that opportunity, being off of work and being stuck at home and things like that. So, like I said, we saw growth, and a lot of our clients saw growth. So it was awesome.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
With all the services that you offer, is there one or two in particular that, if someone was on a budget, if you had to suggest, hey, this is what you should really focus on until you can add more, what comes to mind?
Yeah, so actually, I would say it's the local SEO. Mm-hmm. I'll try to be as short as possible with explaining the difference, because I think a lot of people as business owners don't know the difference between local SEO and SEO. SEO focuses on your website. It helps your website to rank, which is great. But when we're searching on a mobile device and the way that search is now, most people don't visit websites. They go to third-party sites, Thumbtack, Yelp, Angie's List, Home Advisor, whatever industry you're in. there's third-party sites that list businesses on there, like directories, Yellow Pages. Again, your website will rank, but nobody's going to click directly on it. Local SEO is putting you on all the places that your business needs to be listed on all these directories. So getting yourself listed on the directories, making sure that, you know, when someone goes to an application and they do that search, that you're the first person being found, is probably where I would start first. Making sure that that's being created and you're ranking on those third-party sites is probably going to be your best bet in terms of getting your business to kind of grow and out there. SEO kind of comes later on down the road, in terms of, you know, once you hit a point and you want to rank higher or go more or expand into different areas, then we really need to, you know, start focusing on the SEO on your website, and getting it to rank and making sure that all the keywords that match those local searches are actually on your website so that, you know, you can get into that search query as well from Google. So if I didn't confuse you.
No, that totally makes sense. And I didn't really know the difference between just SEO and local SEO, and that's really interesting that there's a difference there. So with all the different, like, Facebook ads, Google ads, I feel like things are constantly changing. Is there anything you can tell us about, any insights into something new that's coming up into the digital marketing world?
You know, I guess maybe not new to consumers, but Google is going to be making some changes in terms of their local search. You know, Google's gotten some slack in terms of the Google My Business, and you go on, you do a search, and the map shows up first,
right? You
know, on your search query. So the way that you used to rank there is changing. So they're Google, like I said, Google got a lot of bad rap because service-based industries, there was no verification process. You could create a fake listing on Google, write yourself a couple reviews with some fake email accounts, and get that local listing to rank really quick.
Yeah. And
what was happening is, you know, locksmiths, construction companies, these people were creating these profiles, targeting different communities, usually older population, so they could scam them, and they would come over, they'd give them a quote, the people would pay them $10,000, $20,000 for these jobs, and then they would disappear.
Wow.
There was a college that did this huge study on it, and Google got a lot of kind of kickback from it because they knew what was happening. So Google knew that people were creating these fake profiles, but they weren't doing anything about it. Now they are. So they are definitely trying to take more steps to protect the consumer. So on the marketing side, Google is making a lot of changes to help local businesses, where before they weren't really. So I believe it was supposed to launch in May, but they're kind of pushing it out more towards June. And it's actually, you know, going to give marketing companies, I think, more leverage for businesses that do the right thing, instead of some businesses and SEO companies who do what we call is more of like your black hat SEO, which is stuff that gets you to rank really fast, but if you get caught, you can get in a lot of trouble for it. So
for sure. Talk to us about the name. Where did Diamond Arrow come from?
Oh, that's funny that you asked that. I love when someone always asks me that. So I had no idea what to name the business, and I don't know, I have always been obsessed with diamonds. I don't know why. I mean, I don't wear them, I don't like wearing them, but I mean, I guess I do like them, but I don't wear them and cannot afford them. But there was something about a diamond with an arrow through it. Like, I saw it one time and I was like, oh, I just really like that. And I was kind of drawn to it. So I was like thinking of logos and what I could do for logos and what would be cool. And so I did a search for Diamond Arrow, like what the meaning of Diamond Arrow was. And the meaning of a diamond with an arrow through it is, I think it's courage as one moves forward. Basically, you know, like giving someone courage as they move forward in life. And I thought to myself, well, that's kind of fitting, as I am about to quit my very comfortable paying job and try to, go on my own.
Yeah.
So there was Diamond Arrow.
That's cool. And it's also what your customer is doing, right? When
Yep.
they make the decision to invest a lot of money into marketing, it takes some courage to,
Yes.
to take
Oh,
that step.
gosh, so much. When we get someone who comes to us and, it doesn't matter how long they've been in business, but I always say, like, congratulations, congratulations that you've been able to do it for that long, because, I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's, and as times change and marketing change and consumer behavior and habits change, it gets a little difficult. So when you have a company like the one I talked to today, had been in business for 10 years, has never done any online marketing whatsoever. But they know as times are changing, they're like, it's about time that we probably, kind of start to invest in that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have any employees, or is it just you?
Yeah, I have some employees. They're, usually in the background, so they're not as outgoing as I am, but, I always say they're the brains. Anything that I can't do, they can, and they can do it better. So I always try to find someone who, I think is more well-versed in certain things than myself. But yeah, so we've got a videographer, we've got a graphic designer, we've got, Sam, who helps with our Facebook and runs kind of the ad portion of that and
Cool.
social media. And then we got Megan is my business partner. She just kind of does more of, again, the back end stuff. She's kind of behind the scenes. And being a small local business, one of my goals and things too was, for my family to, help them. And so my sisters come and she works for Diamond Arrow and she helps with like a lot of the admin stuff. And she's kind of my personal assistant, but don't tell her I said that because she's my
Hopefully
older
she's not
sister.
You'll be listening to this podcast for sure. You just got yourself in trouble.
Oh, funny. Before we have to close up here, and I've loved everything you've shared so far. If you had
Thank you.
one more, tip for a business owner who's trying to grow his business, hopefully they'll come to you for that. But what would your advice be? One thing some actionable tip that anyone can do to take a step towards, growing your business and having a better online presence.
Yeah, I mean, free tip would be, that's not going to cost you any money, is just make sure that you're online. Make sure that you're on Google and you're on Facebook and you're on Yelp, and, do a search for your business keywords and look and see in the search result what's showing up, what platforms are showing up in that search result. Because the platforms that are showing up in search, that's where consumers are going. That's where they're using, and that's why they rank. So you need to make sure that you're listing your business there. So I'd say free. The other is hire a marketing company. Hire a marketing company, but hire a marketing company that can show you that they've produced results, and that knows what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So,
love it. Awesome. Okay, well, as we are closing up here, we're going to play a little quick game with you.
Ooh, yeah.
So how it's going to work is we have a list of 20 questions that we're going to ask you,
Ooh,
and
fun.
you have a minute to answer as many of them as possible.
Oh, okay.
So it'll just be rapid fire coming at you.
Okay.
And we'll see how you square up against other guests that we've had on the show.
Yeah, probably very poorly, but
All right, you can go ahead and get us started in 3, 2, 1.
Your dream vacation.
oh gosh, I don't know. Going to Europe.
First thing you'd buy if you won $1 million.
A car.
Your favorite hobby.
Ooh. I like to go Goodwilling.
If there was an Olympic competition for everyday activities, what activity would you have a good chance at winning a medal in?
Softball.
A song you've been jamming to lately.
Ooh, vacation.
If you lived to be 100, would you rather have the mind or the body of your prime self?
Mind.
Your favorite holiday.
Ooh, Halloween.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Mint chocolate chip.
Favorite fictional character.
Yeah, skip.
Favorite smell?
Cookies.
What's your nickname?
Oof.
Oh.
I'll let you answer it. but-
K-Bigs.
Awesome. All right, so we got 10. Not bad. Kelly, thanks again for coming on and educating us today, really. It's been a privilege to have you here. Why don't you let our guests know where they can learn more about you and get in contact with you if they want to have you, handle their marketing for them.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can go to our website, Digital Marketing Gilbert AZ. Do a search for digital marketing agencies in Gilbert. You'll be able to find us. Or call us on the phone, 480...
No, go for it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 480-712-3320. You can also email me, info@diamondarrowmedia.com. I'll get that email as well.
Awesome. And then I know you have a little special offer for our listeners. Would you mind telling them about that?
Yeah. So anyone who, can mention that they heard us on the podcast, we give... we'll basically, give anywhere from $300 to $500 off on your startup cost, depending on, what level of program that you choose with us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great offer.
Yeah.
Great offer. Okay, Kelly, like I said, thanks again. We've really enjoyed having you on and learned a lot today.
Yeah,
Thank
at a
you.
minimum, everyone needs to Google digital marketing Gilbert, Arizona, see what pops up and see how effective she is and how she can help you, too.
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, have a good week, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. Just a few things before we go. First off, if you or someone you know is an entrepreneur in the East Valley, we'd love to have you on the show. Please get in touch with us by emailing us at localhustlerspodcast@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram at localhustlerspodcast. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn for the latest news and updates. Also, if you enjoyed the show, please take a few seconds to rate and review and hit that subscribe button. It lets us know how we're doing and helps us grow so we can reach more locals, entrepreneurs, and help small businesses grow. Thanks, guys.